Let's meet some very special First Ladies of Football and find out why they stand out among NFL cheerleaders. The Washington Redskins Cheerleaders have become the most diverse cheerleading squad in the NFL. We recently spent time with them and found out why they are truly the First Ladies of Football.
I am Mexican American. I grew up all around the United States. I was actually born in Utah, but I am a first generation Mexican American. My mother and father immigrated here from Mexico.
I grew up in Temple Hills, Maryland. I live in Bowie, Maryland now. I went away to school in Hampton University.
I was actually raised in a military family. I was born in Frankfurt, Germany, and I was raised right here in Prince George's County, Maryland. And I grew up in Largo. I went to Suitland High School.
I was a cheerleader back in Japan. I cheered for IBM Big Blue. That is one of the American football team in Japan, and I cheered for 4 years up there. And then I was a captain too.
I was born and raised in Northern Virginia, but both my mother and father are from Jamaica, so both of them are Yardies. I also ran track because, you know, in Jamaica we're big on track and field. So I was a dancer my whole life growing up, and then I actually traded in my dance shoes for track spikes in college. And then after college, I came back to dance.
I've always danced ever since I was about 2-3 years old. I graduated from VCU with my degree in dance and choreography. And of course, I'm a Redskins fan because I grew up in the area. So I kind of put all that together, and I decided to try out for the First Ladies of Football.
American football wasn't something that was popular in Mexico, and my mom didn't watch any kind of sports channels except for what they played on Univision and Telemundo. So it was soccer, otherwise known as football, and soap operas, so telenovelas. So I didn't have a lot of exposure to American football when I was growing up.
I met Monique, former Redskin cheerleader in Japan. She hosted workshop. So I attended the workshop and I got inspired by her, and that was one of the reasons I came to Redskins to try out.
There was a woman in this small town that I grew up in that was a professional cheerleader for a different team, and she gave classes and things to girls to do like pee-wee cheerleading, basically, right? I got the opportunity after begging my mother for a long time, and I only got to do it for 1 month. It was really heartbreaking for me because we just couldn't afford it. Being immigrants in the United States, my mother for a while was working like double jobs, and I had to basically stay home and take care of my little sister a lot.
I've been dancing since I was 3 years old, so cheering came naturally. A lot of NFL cheerleading teams, we do more dance than traditional cheer.
Since I was 5 years old to like 18 years old, I did ballet. That is my background.
Coming from a wide range of dance backgrounds, the First Ladies keep it fresh with their signature dance routines.
When I was in college, I danced in the band. I danced with Ebony Fire at Hampton University.
I have only been in one other cheerleading organization, and that was actually in high school with Suitland. Suitland Rams, go Rams, okay, hey. But other than that, I've never cheered, so dance was always my passion.
I think dance really takes me into a different element. I'm able to express myself with my body and just in a way that most people are not used to. So I love being able to express how I feel through dance.
I'm a senior graphic designer for a commercial real estate firm, so I help put together marketing materials.
We are all business women, we are all mothers in school, full-time jobs, things like that. So being able to balance that as well as cheer practice and appearances and everything can be a struggle, but definitely worth it.
You're making sure you set aside time to devote to this team, and you have to be passionate in order to do that.
I am honored to be a part of such a diverse and it's indescribable. We're completely multifaceted. Everyone comes from different walks of life. Everyone is so caring and passionate about what they do, not just performing and dancing, but being in the community, mothers, nurses, doctors.
This squad travels the world over representing the burgundy and gold, the NFL, and the nation.
Once you make it to the professional side, it's a whole nother level. You're working for the NFL.
Traveling is one of my favorite parts of being a First Lady of Football. I've been on 4 military appreciation tours, and I'm getting ready to go on my 5th one.
I've been on about 5 military appreciation tours since the year 2015, and there is nothing like being able to feel like you're giving back to people who sacrifice so much for you on a daily basis.
My sister's actually set to be in the Army, so this is very unifying for us. I love it because we're Mexican American and we're first generation, and she's going to be serving in the Army. The military is very diverse itself. There's so many people of color in the military that are so proud to get to be Americans and serve our countries.
We've also traveled a lot for calendar trips. One of my favorite was when we went to Jamaica, my home country, and just being there and feeling the vibe, the Jamaican vibe, being in my element felt amazing.
Their leaders, Jamila and Stephanie, are inspirations to the First Ladies.
The tenure that Jamila has on the team, we all look up to her because of that, especially being African American. Like, I definitely look up to her. It's like we see her on the wall and we're like, we definitely want to be Jamila, you know? Stephanie, incredible woman, great heart.
They're also very, beautiful women inside and out that we aspire to be like. They're always kind, always motivate us to work harder.
Stephanie and Jamila, like, they always telling us, like, be proud of ourselves. Like, we have work outside and also like do cheerleading. We are like good representative for female who works really hard.
We're constantly getting to learn about each other and our backgrounds, and it makes the team that much better. Somebody can bring a different style to our dancing, a different perspective. It was wonderful. Last year, Azusa brought a very different perspective to our team when we were having a troubling issue, and it kind of made us look like, wow, you're right, you know, coming from Japan, and this is your perspective on this issue. All these different women and their backgrounds, their diversity, their histories make it so rich. It makes the First Ladies of Football that much more amazing.
Often when people see our team and see how diverse we are, they're surprised, and they're pleasantly surprised. They're like, wow, I didn't know that you all have so many different cultures on your team. And I think that's great because we can really represent everybody from all over the world.
Taryn is a trendsetter in the NFL, wearing locks.
It's really cool. It's an honor. Right now, I'm not the only one. There's a young lady, Jada, down in Jacksonville, and she has locks as well. It's really cool for young ladies to see that they can make their own mold and, you know, break through certain stereotypical standards of beauty and be more.
I think it's important to represent Washington, D.C. Huge melting pot, this area. So we have to be who lives here. It's always wonderful to see a fan get super excited to meet them, or a young lady look at them and say, oh my gosh, you look like me. I could do this one day. That is what makes it all worthwhile, just seeing the impact that they can have on their community.
It's great for the melting pot of DC to see the different backgrounds. So that way, you know, one girl can be like, oh, she looks like me. I can relate to her. I want to be like her when I grow up.
For me, the biggest challenge is, I would say, trying to stay creative, trying to challenge the dancers every year to improve. You know, you want to stay fresh.
What is Stephanie's message to the ladies before each game?
Don't mess up. Get all your corrections that we worked on and kill it. Make everybody say, wow, you guys are fantastic.
These impressive ladies realize that they are role models for everyone in the Washington, D.C. area and the country with everything they are doing on and off the field. After spending time with them, we are sure that they will continue to do so in the future. We'll be right back after this.